Everybody for making time to be here today. And when you look around at just the sheer number of folks who turned out today, what that says to me, and I think it should say to all of us, is that this issue is so important to many people. We are joined by community advocates, by elected officials, and I'd like to acknowledge Broome County Legislator Mary Kaminsky, who is here with us, who represents this area in Broome County. We can give her a round of applause. Also, Binghamton City Council member Aviva Friedman, who is the City Council member for this portion of Binghamton. We give her a round of applause as well. Along with small business owners. I see Susie Lupo is here, owner of Lupo's Speedy Pit. Also give a round of applause. Along with CARES, Denise Yo is here. Citizen Action is here. There's so many folks, parents that are here, and we're here for an important message, and that is we are here to support Roosevelt School. Roosevelt is such a gem in the Binghamton City School District. You know, I had the pleasure of representing this side of town when I was on City Council, and now being in the state legislature with Assemblymember Lupardo, who also used to, in her prior role, cover this area. It is so important that we're here today because we were able to, in this past legislative session, Assemblymember Lupardo and myself, to successfully pass in both houses a bill that would allow for Roosevelt School to make the necessary renovations and upgrades to this important community school. According to yes, this has been a long time coming. We know that the school district has held a lot of community conversations, and the resounding call to action we heard from parents, teachers, students alike is that we have to do all that we can to save our community schools, and Roosevelt is a community school. And so according to our current law, New York's Big Five school districts, which include Buffalo, New York City, Rochester, Syracuse, Yonkers, and Utica, are currently permitted to access 2 times their multi-year cost allowance for capital projects, while small city schools such as Binghamton City School District are not afforded this opportunity. And so the legislation that Assemblymember Lupardo and I passed this session is a step in the direction to change that and to correct that inequity, and will ensure that small city school districts such as Binghamton City Schools will be able to get access to the resources they need to make important upgrades, physical upgrades. Our legislation awaits the governor's signature, and so we are here today to urge the governor to pass this legislation so that Binghamton City School District can begin this urgent work to rebuild the school. The school was also designated as a high-need school due to the infrastructure challenges and needs. And so it is really important that we pass this legislation because this school is such an asset to so many families, not just here in this immediate area, but across the city of Binghamton. And so I'm going to pass it over to my awesome colleague in the New York State Assemblywoman Donna Lupardo, who worked with me. We worked together, literally. I will share that many folks didn't believe that we would actually be able to get this legislation passed. I know Donna heard those comments as well, but the fact that we were able to get it passed by both of our houses speaks to the power and the importance of this issue, and it also speaks to the significance of having representatives in Albany that really understand the challenges that our communities are facing. So with that, I want to turn it over to Assemblywoman Donna Lupardo.
Thank you very much, Senator. It's always a pleasure to work with you as a strong advocate for children, in particular children at this school. So I've been working on this issue since it was raised by the school district last year. And what they were saying is they want to get this project done, and they want to get it done fast. They could have done it, stretched out over a number of years, but this is going to allow them to get to work and get more money advanced sooner so that the disruption in the educational environment for these students is lessened. Also, it's going to help save the state money and local taxpayers' money, because we're going to be able to get it done faster and it will cost less in the long run. It passed unanimously, and we included it, each of us, in our one-house budgets during negotiations. But I have to tell you that when Senator Webb got elected, we were working on this bill. It was the very first thing we talked to her office about. We talked to her. We said, this is the thing you and I are going to need to do first, because it's the hardest thing that we're going to try to do. It shouldn't be this hard. It shouldn't have to be hard for small city school districts like these with enormous needs to get the attention they deserve, to get the resources that they need. But we did it. It passed unanimously, and now we have just a couple of months more to convince the governor to sign this bill. And one of the things that we've been doing, and we've been getting an awful lot of support from the community for it, is building a portfolio of support letters and doing events like this. What I have here in this folder are at least 30 support letters from government officials, local businesses, community groups, nonprofits. We have a support letter from the New York State School Boards Association, the New York State United Teachers, the Association of Small District Schools, the New York State Council of School Superintendents. Everyone supports this idea, because this school, this place, these children, these teachers, these parents, everyone is very, very important. This community needs a break, and they need this place renovated quickly, because these kids deserve it. And they deserve to know that people in government and everyone in the community deeply cares about their future and knows how important it is for the schools to thrive. So with that, Senator, I'm going to hand it back over to you to introduce our next speaker.
Thank you, Assemblymember Lupardo. So our next speaker is Binghamton City School District Superintendent Dr. Tanya Thompson, and she's going to talk about the needs that this school helps to meet for our community. Dr. Tanya Thompson.
Thank you, Leah. In communities across the country, elementary schools are the hubs of social engagement, along with being a place for our youngest students to begin their lifelong love of learning. And Theodore Roosevelt certainly rings true in that arena. And the bill that we're here to support today will help address issues with the physical building of Roosevelt that must be addressed. The building, as it currently stands, is nearly at its end of its useful life, and the renovations that we are seeking are vital to the school to continue to benefit our students' education. So, being the only school that serves the north side, Roosevelt serves a little over 340 students pre-kindergarten through 5th grade. Each and every one of them deserves a building that has a sound environment to help them to believe, belong, and become. The building was constructed over 50 years ago, and at that time, asbestos was traditionally used as an insulation agent. Any disturbance in the walls, of the floors, or the ceilings of this building requires abatement. That means just putting a nail in the wall to hang a picture. We would first have to stop, pause, and abate that area before we were able to do anything to it, no matter how big or small the repair is. The abatement of this asbestos was considered back in 2017 when we were looking at renovations and coming up with a long-term project. But it was decided against because the amount of aid, state aid for this building, would have usurped the majority of the money just to abate. That would not have left us any money to then put in new windows, new floors, renovating the actual internal space. So the decision was to, since it was that time looking towards its end of its useful life, to move forward in a different direction. Without passing this bill, the district will have no other choice, as Assemblymember Lupardo referenced, to renovate the current building using the current aid formula and time frame. That would take, what we're proposing is renovating over up to a 4-year time frame, and it would change that to 25 years. Nearly skipping several generations of ability to access a building that could be 21st century ready. This also would cost the taxpayers an additional a little over $20 million to do across that time frame. So our argument is that not only do we need it, but now is the time to do it to be efficient and also to ultimately save taxpayers money, but also so that our students right now that are in this school, in our pre-K and kindergarten and first grade classrooms, can benefit from a new building. We saw the impact of this happen after MacArthur Elementary School unfortunately met with a flood. It took students out of that space, brought them back in a newer and improved space. We know that this can happen here. The community forums and the feasibility study that were conducted determined that this school is staying. So no matter what happens, it is staying. Okay? And that's what brought us to this point. It is urgent that we have this bill move forward for Roosevelt Elementary School. We are standing in a unique time. Not only unique in the sense that now's the time that this needs to be renovated, but the district has worked hard to try to fill to its capacity a capital reserve. So while we're asking for 2 times the aid to support the building, we're also contributing a significant amount of money towards this renovation. So now indeed is the time. The current square footage of our classrooms are also at minimum standards. Back in 1970, when it was built, there was a certain amount of square footage, and now it has exceeded that square footage, so that will also put it back up to those standards. We know that during COVID, we had to move to remote instruction. In some areas, school districts were able to have students come back into the buildings and be educated even through COVID, because we could have that, at the time, 3-foot distance. That was not able to be done here in the Binghamton City School District because of the size of our rooms, because of the small city. Our buildings were built a long ago and underneath different regulations. Roosevelt Elementary is not just a building. It's a place where children of the Binghamton's North Side grow up, they learn, they make friends, and they form relationships. And the people standing behind me are a testament to that. It's just not our desire, but it truly is our duty to provide all of our students a safe and welcoming environment where they can thrive. In doing so, we'll help the Roosevelt to continue to provide all the services that they do on top of educating our students. And to speak more about this, we have a parent and a parent mentor here from Roosevelt who's going to speak on behalf of CARES, Community Advocates Restoring Educational Standards, Mr. Michael Cooper.
Thank you, Dr. Thompson. As previously mentioned, my name is Michael Cooper. I am the Roosevelt Supervisor for Community Advocates Restoring Educational Standards, also known as CARES. CARES also helps to bridge the gap between cultural gaps between schools and families. I'd like to start off by thanking Assemblymember Lupardo, Senator Webb, Dr. Thompson, along with the district officials who are working incredibly hard to find the.
It's all good.
Along with district officials who are working incredibly hard to find a way forward to giving students a facility they deserve. The kids come here every single day ready to learn, build deeper relationships with their teachers, and spend time with their classmates. But the importance of Roosevelt Elementary School goes far beyond the education received. First off, the location of the school underlines how important it is. As mentioned, this is the only Binghamton school on the city's north side. Per capita, the city of Binghamton as a whole ranks 3rd in New York State as having the highest level of families living in poverty. In the area, Roosevelt serves as one of the highest concentrations of poverty in the city. Northside is also a food and child care desert. Many parents rely on school's free lunch, breakfast, and take-home weekend meal bag programs to help ease the burden of looking after their children and making sure that they're fed. On top of that, Northside is also a healthcare desert. But there is a health clinic run by UHS that operates right here at Roosevelt. They provide physical and mental health services here on site. The vast majority of Roosevelt students walk to school, and more than half don't have access to a vehicle. This clinic at Roosevelt ensures that they don't need to travel to get health care. They don't need to find someone who has a car. They don't need to spend potentially hours waiting and taking the bus to and from the doctors. Students can get help right here at school. I said a word earlier that is incredibly important: relationships. That is the key. The deeper the relationships are built, the more students will develop a love of learning. I spend time in Roosevelt every single day, and those relationships are extremely evident. Walk through the school for 10 minutes, and you will see those bonds on full display from everyone. Principal Chilson, the teachers, the aides, the support staff, everyone. It shows how much everyone cares about the students. Not just if they are getting to school and test scores are high, but if they are fed, if they have health care, if their needs are being met. This school has done great work on the side of the city that has had not many resources for a while, I'm sorry. The staff of Roosevelt over the year has seen the need and picked up the slack. I again want to thank our local and district officials for their efforts, and I want to implore Governor, how you say her name? Hochul, to sign this bill. Thank you.
It just demonstrates how infrastructure is needed all around. Indeed. So, again, I really want to thank everyone for being here today. And as we close, I also want to acknowledge the principal of Roosevelt School, Mr. Chilson. Can you wave your hand, Mr. Chilson? When I tell you, he brings such joy and just encouragement to teachers, to parents, to kids. I mean, you can talk to former students of Roosevelt School, and anytime you say his name, it's always met with a big smile because of the work that he does. So thank you, Mr. Chilson, for still standing here, still being strong and supporting Roosevelt School. And so again, as we've already shared, we really are urging collectively for the governor to sign this bill. We are also asking for folks, we have a petition. There's a petition that the school district is also sharing. People can sign the petition to show their support. As Dr. Thompson has already alluded to, time really is of the essence because once the bill is signed, right, positively manifesting, yes, that it would also have to go up for what's called on the ballot, right, where the community votes for it. And again, there are all the different pieces that go with that. And so we really implore the governor to sign this bill. As it's already been eloquently stated by Michael Cooper, the superintendent, everyone here, our students here deserve a quality education, and they can have that. And it continues with this bill that Assemblymember Lupardo and I passed unanimously in our houses. And we just needed to go the next step, and we urge Governor Kathy Hochul to sign it. Thank you all so much. Are there any questions from media?